do you think about things in a different way as a result of learning that's taken place as part of the project?
I think I've learned quite a lot of stuff about numbers and how many people like were enslaved or whatever, but I believe I already knew kind of like where sugar originated from, like when I went on holiday to Jamaica and stuff. I've been taught my history quite a lot, so I know like behind the sleeves and everything. But I think like when I have my bowl of cereal and look at the sugar, I still think maybe it's like a child out there, so now child labour, like doing the job that a slave would have done. But I think in society now, it's like everything's relative. For us to live in the West, somebody else is suffering for what we want. And I think it's wrong, and I know it's wrong or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's opened my eyes, but I already knew nothing's gonna, for us, I'm confused, but I know what I mean.
No,
like, my auntie always says to me, for someone to be at the top of the ladder, someone's got to be at the bottom.
For them to get to the top.
And I think that's wrong, because someone's always going to be on, like stepping on steps on. So I don't. The project's been interesting, but at the same time, I already knew that kind of history and what my history was. Awful.
It just goes to show how much, like, the industry today and the empires and whole of basically what England runs on, but was based on sugar and the plantations. I was
people's
still doing
lives,
it now as well. People's lives and what they went through to make where we are. Do you get what I mean? But I wasn't totally amazed by it because I already knew it, like Nicole said. But it just goes to show how much our life today depends on that actual beginning of sugar and
cotton as well.
Yeah, cotton
and everything. For the British Empire to be where it is, or whatever you want to call it, it's not actually got anything. It's everything they have is stolen, and then it's built on somebody else's hardships, and then it's just loads of politics. We'll go into this now, but it's just through other nationalities' hardships has made Britain the place it is today, and without that, Britain would not be the same place as it is today. So back to the question, looking at what revealing history has taught me, I already knew to a certain extent, but it has opened my eyes. However, I live in Britain now, and I'm black British, or what you call me. I was born here, and I think my ancestors have suffered, and those other people's ancestors have suffered, but Britain would, like me living here, I'm taking part in buying the sugar and buying the clothes from Primark or whatever, where children and other people are still suffering. So I don't know, it's hard, it's not an equal world or whatever.
I mean, you mentioned Primark there. Is that something that could be, that you would sort of feel strongly enough about it to say we should maybe organise a boycott, or I should write to my councillor or MP and see if we can do something about this to change things?
I don't like, we've got the fair trade products, and we've got make poverty history things, and
we've got fair trade products,
and we've got unicorn and organic places that are trying to make it more eco-friendly. But like I said before, it's like a ladder for us to be somewhere else. Nothing. I don't want to be a pessimist, but nothing will change. Nothing will change because people are used to the comforts. Like, if I know I can go to Primark and get a top for £3, and then I'd go to Marks and Spencer's, I still go to Marks and Spencer's and get a top for £30 or something. But I know that most people are going to go and get the top for £3 and don't care where the top has come from, don't care about ethics or whatever. But it doesn't matter because both companies are still doing child labour, and they're looking for profit, and that's coming back to the British society or whatever, to better yourself and to be able to, coming back to this, to have the wealth and the better social class or whatever do you want to say, to get at the top of the ladder. And everyone's after money now. So
where she said with the ladder, child labour, that is their way of life, to get money to how they live, but they're at the bottom of the ladder. Whereas people, in Marks and Spencer, who actually selling it.
Don't diss Marks and Spencer.
I'm not just saying, no, I like Marks and Spencer, trust me. But where they are on the ladder, it's higher because of
what they've
the
had to step on.
child
Yeah.
labour is
Yeah.
where
So,
they
you,
live.
so you saying that there's nothing that we can do about that
We
because
can change. We can sort of like.
it's called
make-
communism, you know.
What if
Like,
it-
we're not allowed to say that
It's a
word.
fact-
I don't think. Well, I don't.
What strikes me is a lot of it is to do with mentality, because whereas back in the times of the sugar legacy and the cotton legacy, it was a greed industry in terms of we want our profits, we want our money, and we don't care who you have to step on to get that. And it's still prevalent in today's society,
Yes,
because it's
absolutely.
like, you know, if you're a big company, you're thinking, okay, I want to be able to offer a T-shirt for £3. I don't care how much, you know, as long as it costs less than £3 to make it. I don't care what the working conditions of someone are. If it's, you know, even if it's technically slavery, you know, obviously it's not physically slavery because they do get paid. It's not forced labour, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they try and get around it that way.
And
But
you see, I'm watching you justify the trade.
No,
You're
no,
saying
yeah.
it's
That's
not
what I
forced,
was
it's
saying,
for
kind of.
slavery.
no, I'm saying that. I'm saying
That's what I was
trying to
saying,
say.
But it's what
No.
we say in the
People's
West.
family have been taken away.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is they're trying to get around it. The people, I'm saying the people who try to justify it, are trying to get it around it that way.
Can I say before?
Yeah.
I kind of justify, in a way, I'd say I kind of justified it. But I'm saying in the day society and where we are today, and even the clothes I've got on, not one piece of my clothes is a designer piece of clothes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, have I just gone in the shop and go, all right, those jeans were 110, let me go buy them? Do you know what I mean? I've not cared where they've come from, as long as I've got the
But
label.
isn't that
But
about
then I
everything
think-
else? Wait, just a moment.
Go on, sorry.
Do you not think that's anything that is you're removed from, you have less feeling towards
Apathy,
a form of apathy. If you're removed from the way something is produced, you're not going to feel for those who are producing it, and so on and so forth.
And I'm
But
saying there's
you're
going
never
to
going
be
to
a
make.
breakthrough, that's what I mean. There's not going to be a breakthrough because, like, as a
'Cause that's what
teenager,
society
or whatever,
is
and that's how
structured.
society is structured.
No
Yeah,
one
that's
is
what it's
shown
built on.
how Primark has made its money.
Yeah.
No one is
all
questioning how they make their clothes or where their clothes are
Whereas,
coming
sorry,
from.
let's go back to
But-
Marks and
but I
Spencer's.
don't-
People questioned where they were making their clothes from.
Exactly,
do you know what I'm saying?
that's in Marks and Spencer's. But whereas in
Ethics.
Primark, where tops are £1, £2 to £3, they're not questioning it because it's cheap. If it was more expensive, they'll be like, "Oh, how come it's this expensive? No, where's your clothes coming from? Do you get me?"
Yeah, where they're making their profits.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
And in
Well, can
Primark,
I
they're
just
thinking
say, I
that.
saw an article recently on TV about kind of cheap clothing, which you can. This is good that we're talking about modern day, if you like, slavery. Well,
Because
in
it's
it,
sugar
it's
and all
showing
that
the
kind of
links of, if you like, the fact that this type of slavery went on and it was not paid for, and there was no compensation given to the people and the families who were actually suffered. But I believe that £1 billion of money was given to the slave owners when they had to stop the slave trade. You take it right back now to modern day. You talk about Primark, you talk about all these different shops that are now making a trade that we purchase off, that we buy off, that are also linked to a form of low paid income, low paid trade. I heard you say it's always going to be like that, but that, I suppose, in many ways is about how
Society
there
is
is
structured.
everything is structured. Is it structured different in India, Sri Lanka, Ghana, wherever?
That's the structure all over the world,
Was it structured any differently in Lancashire, where the mill workers were and the people who are working? There's always going to be people on the bottom rung and always people on the top. What we should be aiming for is a more equal and a spread of wealth, but the
Everybody
people at the top, are they going to allow that? Who's
They
going to
want
allow
to
that?
share
That's why I'm
that.
saying
I
it's a
think-
greed industry.
The people at the bottom don't have a choice, because linking back to empire, there's countries that have taken over their land and like drained their resources, so they've got no money to do anything
None
about
to leave.
them problems anyway.
Exactly.
That's probably why
That
Africa
is
is how it is.
That was really
That's
well
why-
put, Chloe.
Yeah, that's why there's like people who are in them positions that they have to go and work for basically nothing
They have to work for people at
all
the top.
day,
Yeah.
and then
Every
sleep
day.
wherever, nowhere to live.